It's the November 2023 show with Adam Walker from Walker Mortgages. Adam, how the heck are you?
Hey, good, Dave. How are you?
It's great, great to see you. Look, I saw this thing, and you got to explain this to me because I didn't really understand it. What's this $25,000 challenge you're doing? What's all this about?
Great little challenge. Myself and a few mortgage brokers from across Canada are actually working on this collaboratively. Um, Gas is tight. Our gas is up. Groceries are up. Everything's getting more and more expensive. Mortgages are coming due. People are in, 2, 3%, and they're renewing at 6%. Our goal is to save families. My personal goal is to save families a combined $25,000 in monthly cash flow by the end of the year.
How,
So every time
wait,
what
wait,
we're
wait, wait. How are you? How the hell are you going to do that, buddy? Because I want in.
Yes, absolutely. So, one thing I can say, if you're interested, follow me on Instagram. If you go to Walker Mortgages on Instagram, we're sharing different success stories. We shared one yesterday of a family. Let's give you an example. So, these guys had put in a pool through COVID. They had a couple car loans. They had a car loan, a truck loan. They had some debt, some credit cards, things that just started to pile up. What we did is we had equity in their property that was doing absolutely nothing for them. So we took advantage of some of that equity in the property, paid off all of those outstanding debts, over $100,000 in unsecured debts that they had outside of their mortgage. We paid all that off. And what we're actually able to do is save them over $1,300 per month, not per year, per month. We're saving them
A month.
$1,300. We actually gave them $3,000 extra on their mortgage. They want to go away. They haven't been away in a long time through COVID. They put this pool in. They didn't get to travel at all. They actually took $3,000 extra. They're going to go away for a family vacation at Christmas time. They're saving $1,300 a month. The stress is gone, right? Yes, it's going
Wow.
to take them a little bit longer to pay that mortgage off. But the stress that they have today with gas prices up, grocery prices up, we just lived through the toughest time, right? Saving them money is so key. And that's what we're doing for a lot of families. So, what we do is we offer a free review where we're going to go over all of your debts and we're going to review how can we save you money? Is there equity in your property that you can be taking advantage that's doing absolutely nothing for you right now? Take advantage of some of that equity. Let's save you some money and let's kind of get rid of some of that stress. There's so many families right now. We're heading into Christmas. They're not sure where the next payment is coming from for their gas or their groceries, let alone how the heck are we going to get through Christmas if you've got a young family. It's getting harder and harder. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to save families money.
So what I like about this $25,000 challenge is it takes the onus off of me and puts it on you. Save me money, right? Like help
Absolutely.
me find ways. And like you said, there's so many little things that you guys as mortgage consultants notice that you can pick off and go over here. We can save you some, right? Is that the strategy when you sit down and do a consult with somebody? Are you looking at those areas?
Absolutely. There's so many different things that, high interest credit cards
Yeah.
and high interest debts that, maybe you took out a line of credit that was at 3%, 2 years ago. And now that line of credit or even that variable car loan that you took at 0%, now it's at 9, 10, 12%. So those payments are going to continue to go up. And as we hit those renewal periods, those payments continue to get more and more expensive. And it's not even just the mortgages. Sometimes we're looking through, give me your bank statements. Let's look through some subscriptions. We sat with a family last week. They had $250 worth of subscriptions for different streaming services. They weren't using half of them. They didn't
Yeah.
even know they had all of them, right? And it happened, right? Like if you think back through COVID, it was so easy. How many different Paramount, Crave, everything came up, and you
Yeah.
had nothing to watch anyways. You couldn't sit down and watch a hockey game or a ball game, so you had to find a new show to stream, and it was only on this channel. Or it was only on this channel, and then you set them up and you forget about it because it's just $10 a month or $12 a month. Well, Netflix was what $10 a month through COVID. Now it's $30 a month, and I'm sure they've all gone up similarly, right? Like those continue to increase. Going through and just reviewing some of those small little things, it makes a big difference. And we're saving families money, and it's so rewarding. And it's just to see the stress gone after a meeting, it's incredible.
I think an outside point of view too, because you're looking at it from a different sight line. If you're in it, you don't notice it, right? You don't notice those expenses that are monthly that are piling up. But when you bring you in or someone that's similar and you look at it, you can look at it with a different eye and go, well, wait, what's this about? Right. And I think that helps people realize maybe where they're out of sync a bit financially.
And And if you're sitting at home and you've got Visa bills and bank statements and you're just not looking at them, because a lot of people aren't, right? Don't feel that you're the only one that's not looking at your bank statements, because it's a scary thing to look at. Because there's a lot of people that just, you know what, let's set it off to the side and let's deal with it later. Well, later's
Right.
here, right? And let's, rather than setting that off to the side and we'll worry about it another day, trust me, you're not alone. There's so many families that are doing the exact same thing. Let's sit down, let's review it. Let's make it okay to open those bank statements again, right? It'll be okay, and we can save money.
The $25,000 challenge, I love it. That's excellent. I got one other question for you, and it concerns investment properties, because investment property values seem to be coming down a wee bit. I know that you and I have talked in the past about investments. So, is this a decent time to actually start looking for an investment property? Why wouldn't you use that equity, like you said, maybe have that secondary income? Yes, no, maybe wait a while. What's your take on it?
Yeah, so you talk secondary income. If you're buying a rental property today, unless you're buying a cash, you're not getting a second income, right? So the strategy used to be, if you're going to buy an investment property, buy it so it can be cash flow positive and you can make money off of it every single, every single month. You have a little bit of a paycheck coming in. Maybe it's $100, maybe it's a couple $100. With interest rates where they're at right now, that really isn't the case. However, the smart investors, what they're doing is, maybe if they've got a couple $100 a month, or maybe they're putting $500 a month into an RSP or a RIP, or some sort of a mutual fund or whatever that might be. Instead of that, where they're buying a cash flow property that was maybe $600,000, $700,000, $800,000 a couple years ago, now it's down to $400,000. Buying that property, yes, the interest rates are going to be a little bit higher, and it's going to be harder to cash flow positive. Take that money away from your investments, reinvest it into that property. As that property value continues to come up, we're at the low, right? The housing market's at the low. It may come down a little bit more. It may go up a little bit more. Don't time the market, right? Everybody that tries to time the market, you always lose, right? Find the house. If it's, cash flow positive down the road, that's what we're looking for, right? And then
Gotcha.
you buy that investment property now. Maybe instead of it be, maybe you're losing $200 a month on it, but it's the equity, right? It's the smart investors. They're really looking for that equity gain. It might cost you $200 a month, but if it's gone up $10,000 year after year after year, that $200 a month is definitely going to be worth it.
Follow-up question to that then. If you did something like that, and what would you tell them to do for a mortgage rate? Would you say go 5 years, go 3 years? Like, I'm just curious now, because I can see where you're going with this. You're actually doubling your equity, because you've got your original piece and now you've invested in the secondary. But what would you tell them on that secondary mortgage, to go
Yeah. So
three,
you
5 years?
talked about equity, right? Like, never in time have we looked back and said, man, we shouldn't have bought that house 5 years ago. Right. So if you're talking about that, yes, that equity is going to go up. It may not be go up month after month or year after year, but if we look 5 years down the road, that investment is a long-term play. Right. So if
Okay.
we're looking at a 3 to 5 year term, or 3 to 5 years that we're looking at this going up, that 3 to 5 year term right now, the 3 year term is a much better play. Right. 5 years right now, if you want, 5 years are what the banks are really, really still pushing in a lot of different scenarios. That 3 year rate is really where we want to be. A lot of market experts are talking that 24 to 36 month range is where we're going to see an interest rate change, right? We're probably going to be at a high for 24 to 36 months. So what we're doing right now is, the 24-month rate, the 2 year rates are still pretty high. The 3 year rate starts to come down a little bit. You get a little bit of value in those. So we're doing a lot of 3 year terms. And what we're doing is, one of the benefits that I have on this side is I get to meet with my clients every single year. So when we take out that mortgage in 1 year, in 24 months, or in 12 months and 24 months, we're going to do an annual review, and we're going to look at it. Hey, is this a good time? Have we selected a product that has a better prepayment penalty, right? So if we want to break that mortgage, what we want to try and find today, not necessarily the lowest rate, we want to find the best rate. And there's a big difference between the two of them, especially in a high rate environment, right? We want to find a rate that, if we want to break it in 2 years, are we going to pay a lower penalty?
Never thought about it. That's a great show next month. We'll talk about that, because now I got a bunch of questions, but it's our time's up. How do people? Is there a number they can call? If folks want to just reach out and give you a show.
Yeah, reach out to me, adamwalkermortgages.com. You can book directly on my website. You can go right on
Okay.
there, book right on my calendar, give you the options. If you give me a follow on my Instagram channel, we're doing a ton of success stories that we're having with our $25,000 a month challenge. Lots of great options there.
Okay. I gotta say thanks for doing this. I always learn so much when we chat. It gives me ideas, and then the next month I got more questions for you, obviously. But I guess that's how we keep the show rolling, isn't it? Um,
Absolutely.
Thanks for doing this. And I know a lot of people are struggling, and I just want to say thanks. I appreciate you talking because I think that there is so many people that are in kind of dire need right now, and being able to have an alternative to talk to about this besides the banks is important. I think folks give Adam a show and let him figure it out for you. It ain't gonna hurt.
It's just a conversation. There's no obligation. There's no cost. It's absolutely free. It's completely confidential. You know, we're not when we talk about sharing some success stories, right?
Look at that.
We're not sharing everybody's name. Somebody's calling already. Look at that. You know, we're not sharing your personal details. We're not sharing who you are. You know, it's confidential. It's free. There's no obligation. It'll take some stress away.
And you guys are licensed. You're fully licensed.
Absolutely.
All right. Have
Yeah.
a great day. Take care, young man.
Thanks, Dave.